Welcome back, everybody, to the DIY Guy channel. I am your host. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be revisiting the melting issue. Now, those of you who saw the last video, we had a little bit of complications, but showing you some bad mistakes and stuff like that. So today we're going to do it just a little bit more differently with a better setup. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So location has changed, as you all know, obviously by the video. We have another hole in the ground, but we have it deeper. We have a better chamber. We have better fuel. We have more fuel and plenty of fuel. And I've had it priming now for about 20 minutes, so it's getting really good. So just to go over another setup for you guys, if you lack of funds and just want to use stuff you have around the house kind of deal. The lid I'm using is an old satellite. Makes a great cover. Steel. Make sure you check that, otherwise you're going to have a mess on your hand. And inside is the big giant crucible again, with plenty of fuel around it. Of course, we've got the air flow going again. And I know last video was very hard to hear over it sometimes, but hopefully we've got it worked out a little better. So let me find my giant tongs again. Right here. And we're going to come around to here. We're going to take a peek inside. As you can see, we have good solid fuel source in there. And as you can tell inside, it is nice and hot. And it is very hot getting close to it. So we're going to put this back on. And we're going to let that sit for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and throw our top back on. Drop that down. This way we're retaining the heat inside, as well as retaining the heat inside of the crucible. The crucible has its own lid, and as well as the hole. And I'm going to stop holding the camera. Be prepared, we are turning. Hopefully this will work out for you guys. So we're going to let that sit for a few. And we're going to do some melting hopefully here in a moment. Before we get into the melting, I do want to cover a couple safety things for you guys. Always make sure you have accessible to water, which we have located right here. Make sure you have a brick, which is right here, for placing your hot crucible on. Otherwise, when you set it down, you may burn whatever's touching it. Make sure there is no plastic or anything of that nature near it. However, we do have the Tonka truck by special request to be in a video. So always make sure you have gloves on, eye protection. You want to cover all your basic safetyness, depending on how close you're working with stuff. If I was more hands-on in there, then I would have something more protecting my body. But I'm keeping my distance, and I have the big giant bucket of water, which has multi-purpose. A, because if I have to pour it down in there because of some unforeseen incident, I can put out the fire without a problem. I also have a hose plugged in and ready to go at a moment's notice for any issues that may occur. So, like I said, safety is always going to be your #1 priority, and make sure you have something in case of an emergency, and you have a backup just in case that doesn't work. Because you are working with a lot of heat, and you can get burned. And I can promise you and tell you from experience, and I'm sure many people have burned themselves somewhere one time or another. Being burned does not feel good, especially when it's something that's on your skin and it just keeps going. So, before I go over there to check on the crucible inside, I want to point out, a while back, my youngest son and I, we also did some melting, just having fun. He wanted to experience it and see what it was like. So we dumped some molten aluminum inside of a bucket full of water. And this is what came out. It's got some pretty sharp points on it, but it was kind of cool. So that was something fun for him and a learning tool. I feel personally that it doesn't matter what you do in life. If you've learned from it, you've gained from it. Whether it's you learn something good or you learn something bad. Knowledge is the most powerful thing in the world. Alright. I believe we got some burns coming on the outside, but that's not going to be a big issue. I dug the hole pretty deep, so that just shows you how hot it is in there, and plenty smoky. So let's go ahead and remove the lid and see what's what. Now, oh yeah. Alright, we have a cooking stick somewhere around here. I don't seem to know where I put it though. I have found my poking stick. Alright, for right now what we're going to do is we're going to lower the airflow. Turn that down a little bit, just because we have to get a little close. In fact, we'll go ahead and cut that down just for the moment. It is very hot in there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut it back on because we're not quite there yet. And we are going to go ahead and add some more fuel to it. I want to say, while I'm grabbing some fuel, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and all the people that viewed my last video. Like I said, I am a new subscriber. Yeah, that's what it is. Haha. I am a new YouTuber, and I've done this before. I've done a couple different things, and this is not everything the channel is going to be. However, this is just what it is for the moment. Just because I've watched many videos on this. I can do it fairly accurately, but at the same time, I feel like you don't need so much money to have to go out and make these. Let's go ahead and throw that lid on before we get a lot of material inside that we really don't want to have. But I feel like you don't need to have a lot of money to build something. Honestly, if you've got something to produce in the airflow, you've got a shovel and a yard, and something to use for a crucible, it doesn't matter what size. The bigger the size, the more you can melt, obviously. Then you're good to go. I've got an idea for another video on the same aspect of this, but like really small. When I say small, like I mean very small. Just for small castings and molding stuff. So, therefore, now, last time I used a lot of wood, but I kept running out. So now what I have is these little charcoals. And these charcoals work really well. I've noticed that charcoal has been getting a lot more expensive lately. However, you do a little research and a little time looking around, you can find a good price. I don't believe in having to buy a bag for 20 bucks that's 10 pounds. It just doesn't seem worth it. Especially the fact that you want something a little long lasting, and I'm pretty sure you'll burn through 8 pounds worth real fast. 10 pounds real fast too. I happen to be able to find 32 pounds of charcoal. Fairly good quality charcoal for what I need it for $8.88. You can't beat that. So, not that cheap stuff that burns out really fast that you go to light up and it just seems to be taking forever and ever and ever. But this seems to work out really well, and that's keeping us nice and hot. And we're gonna toss this lid back on there. Let that get nice and toasty again. Smell. So today, aluminum that we will be melting down. I've got some old gutter pieces, pretty good aluminum. I figure it could melt out really well. Once I've got a good amount going in there, I'm going to go ahead and put some salt in some aluminum foil and drop it in there. Try to help pull out some of those impurities. And then I'll remove all the dross from it. And I have my casting bowl preparing to cast out bricks with pour out bricks, I should say. But if you wonder what I look like, this is me right here. See, that's not really hot right here. This is my Peter Pan syndrome. My shadow helps too. But I've been checking out more YouTube videos, watching other people, checking out good project ideas. There's a lot of stuff out there you can do. It's actually really easy to sit back and complain or even throw your opinion around on things if you haven't tried things. And I believe if you want to do something, just do it. If you fail, what did you learn? If you succeed, what did you learn? You know, it's a give and take. And I believe you get out of something what you put in it. So, if you have thoughts or have any ideas or suggestions on future upcoming videos, by all means, drop a comment down in the comment section, and I promise I'll read every single one. I'll get back to you as well. If I like your comment the most, I'll give you your own personal shout out in the next video. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten so far off my first video on my new channel. So if you'd like to continue supporting, make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate it. I promise we're going to do good things, fun things. I can promise we'll have some accidents along the way and probably some boo-boos here and there. But other than that, like I said, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and drop a comment. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you'll be notified on the next videos. Last week I went ahead and said that I would be posting on Fridays, which I'm going to keep doing that. Every Friday I'll have a new video out. But trying to see if we see any redness coming around. I'm trying to make it that way this is not going to be too long of a video. Oh yeah, we got a quick leak going in. See if we can put some stuff in there, but that's alright. All the dross will come to the top anyway. Ooh, lordy, that's hot in there. I'm thinking if I put a hole right in the center of this, that way it's better accessible for the actual crucible for monitoring and adding aluminum as it goes. Yeah. Yeah, we're starting to get a lot of flyers down inside, so let's go ahead and toss the crucible lid back on. There we go. I'm so just by habit wanting to reach down and grab it with my hands, but that video would get a lot of likes on it, I promise you. And a lot of comments, guaranteed. But I'm not gonna, it's hot. So I think for right now what we're going to do is put the lid back on and let that simmer just a little bit more. I wasn't trying to make this too long of a video. I was hoping that I had it primed up ready to go, but I guess because of the size of it, it's taking a little bit longer than I expected. You see right here where it was so hot it burned the ground a little bit. Alright, let's give that a moment and we'll check back with it. Alright, I'm starting to think that If today I don't get that aluminum down in the bottom to start melting down, then I may just have to scrap this idea on this big crucible, because it's been down in there so long that I'm gonna have to go with something smaller. I'll have to look for something smaller. I've got some other things I can use, but I kind of not want to at the moment. Like I said, I still have that crucible in my Amazon account. As much as and easy as I could just go and order it, I have other priorities that take hold first. And this is just a fun project to do, so I can figure out something. I hope. I'm not sure, but I know we're hitting that 22-minute mark, so I think for right now we're going to make this one in parts. I will release part 2 today as well, so I just feel like this is going to take a lot longer than it should, but only because of the size. So that's what we're gonna do. This will be part 1, and well, whenever this actually gets going and I can start the melting, I'll kick cameras back on and record up on part 2 and make sure I get that to you guys today. If there is no part 2, that means it just ended in total disaster and it's just not melting and we just had to scratch it. So yeah, this is a timely process. And for right now, I'm just shooting from my phone, so I can't do any editing or anything like that yet. So once I get there, the whole process will be a lot easier. So, like I said, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for dropping a like. Please, by all means, drop me a comment. Give me suggestions, any ideas, your thoughts. By all means, speak freely. Well, maybe not speak freely. Some people have a pretty good imagination, and yeah. So until then, I shall see you on part 2. Thanks for watching.